Festival Market. Welcome to our music festival market.
Anytime you can have a product that can truly change someone's life, I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how long we put into research and development for this. Most liquid carnitine is around 1,500 milligrams. We have a 2,000 milligram blend of 4 different types of liquid carnitine. We also have GBB, so you're actually going to be burning fat after you consume this product. This is going to make you sweat. This is going to make you not want to stop. You are going to perform like you've never performed before, and I can promise you that.
Live from the virtual Darlington Raceway here in virtual Darlington, South Carolina. Welcome, sim racing fans, to the Core Racing League Vintage Cup Series live on Racecraft TV. Happy that you're joining us here on this beautiful Monday evening. I'm your host, Joshua Lee. Alongside me in the commentary box is Jordan Hicks, and we're getting ready for round number 2 of the championship. Chris Hamilton comes in with a 10-point lead. He sits at 180 total points currently on the leaderboard, but in second place, there's a tie for second right now between Butler, Nickerson, and Handwork, all with 170 points. They are looking to chase down that current points leader, Chris Hamilton. And currently in the middle of qualifying as well. The times coming in throughout the first half of qualifying right now. And the times are all over the board right now. A 30.003 seems the fastest that these guys can get. That is from your pole sitter, your current pole sitter, and your points leader, Chris Hamilton. And close behind is Handwork and Foster. A bit of a drop-off to Foster, Andrews, and Sherman. Jordan, what early predictions are you making out of this qualifying session right now?
You know, based off of qualifying, it looks like Hamilton's got a pretty good lead, but you know, we're going to definitely keep our eyes on the other two, Handwork and Foster, as they're not too far behind. So those top 3 look like they're pretty fast tonight.
Well, it looks like everybody on the track got their laps in. 7 drivers currently have not put in a lap time, and we're seeing if they're going to make their way on to the track at all. And you can see up on top of the timing tower, the time left is a little less than 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying before we get into the starting grid. And Jordan, as we go into round number 2, we just previewed the points, and the top 5 really in the points right now, and they're all chasing down Chris Hamilton, but that tie for second is really making this points fight interesting. And 180 points total up for grabs, with 5 bonus points to the winner of this race. And with these large point values, that's really going to affect those point standings at the end of tonight's race.
You know, like you said, the points are actually really close, so it's definitely going to be a hard battle here. And so definitely going to be a few changes, I feel, in the point standings, but I guess focus on those 3 guys who are battling for second, and, you know, I'm curious on what can happen here tonight.
Well, we're going to take a look at the starting grid. Christopher Hamilton will lead the field to the green flag. Carl Handwork in second. Kevin Foster in third. Eric Andrews fourth. Rounding out your top 5, it's Derek Sherman with Jimmy Covert in 6th. Mark Thomas 7th. Matt Crockett in 8th. James Perschalski in 9th with Willie Evernham rounding out your top 10. Then it's Nick Nickerson in 11th. Andrew Gunther rounding out your top 12. Wesley Fuller in 13th, Dylan McDonald in 14th, and rounding out your field, Paul Butler 15th, Joshua Belitter in 16th, with Dave Lohr rounding out your 17-car grid. 17 of the Winston Cup 1980 Cup cars ready to take the track here at Darlington, one of the oldest circuits in NASCAR, with some of the classic cars that made NASCAR what it is today. And Jordan, Darlington is known for wearing those tires down, and these cars are known for the same thing as well. What are you expecting as we go over a long run? It's a pretty long race today, 125 laps.
You know, I'm definitely expecting to see a lot of drivers go in the pits, get some new fresh tires, and so that's also going to affect them in the turns, and so they're going to have to really use a strict mindset on how they're going to take the turns and be really sort of like consistent out here on the track.
And we move from a short track, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, to a super speedway of sorts here at Darlington. Much longer than the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and albeit it's an old surface, but a lot less bumps than the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We saw a lot of cautions last week. We might see the same amount here today. But as the field makes its way around the Darlington Raceway on the pace lap, Jordan, who you got as we get ready to go racing?
You know, I definitely feel like Chris Hamilton's going to be on top for the first few laps, as he's one of the fastest I can tell, even though I'm just starting to see what he's been doing. And, you know, definitely Chris Hamilton is going to be my pick for leading the top 3 here in racing.
Well, we're getting ready to go racing here at the Darlington Raceway, and you can see all of that rubber already being laid down on the back straightaway. These guys had about 50 minutes of practice before that 10-minute qualifying session, so a lot of time for rubber to get laid down on the track, and it's under the lights here at Darlington. This track is known for a lot of great racing across NASCAR's National Series, and the pace car is going to go down into the safety of pit road. Field in command of Christopher Hamilton as we say, let's go racing. It's lap 1 in the green flag from Darlington. Still side by side for the lead. It's Hamilton and Handwork. Handwork keeping up right now as they dive into turn number 1. Still side by side. Hamilton trying to hold it on the inside. Handwork might have tapped the wall on the outside as well. And here they come through turn 2 for the first time. Handwork trying to work the outside line, get the lead, and he will. Hamilton will fall to second. A great move on the outside line for the 18 of Carl Handwork. He takes the early lead going into turn 3.
You know, what a pass for Handwork as he's going against Hamilton, and you know, such a really good start here at Darlington. You know, these drivers look really consistent so far, but you got to think about that tire usage on the track. So they're definitely it's gonna change their lap times as the 18 car tapped the wall there as Hamilton makes up some ground. So coming on that backstretch, pretty side by side right now, going in turn 3 and 4.
They dive back into turn number 3, still side by side for the lead. That's Handwork working the outside line. The inside, that's Christopher Hamilton. He tried to take that lead back away. Unfortunately, was not able to do it. So Carl Handwork, as we go into lap 3, will keep the lead. And you can see the track map on the right side of your screen. That is where all the cars currently are on the racetrack, all feeding through turns 1 and 2. This battle for the lead not going away right now. As we work lap 3, Handwork seems like he's faster on that outside line. Now trying to run the inside line. That's where Chris Hamilton was running earlier on in the last lap. He is now going to be running the outside line, trying to find any groove that Carl Handwork is not currently racing on to try and take the lead back as we head into lap 4.
You know, Hamilton's getting on his bumper there, coming into the turn, and you know, they're actually really consistent right now. It doesn't seem like the tire usage is getting to them, but it's definitely going to get there during and throughout the race as they're going into turns 3 and 4. As Hamilton makes up some ground, and you know, it's such a big battle for the lead right now. It's literally not even a second of a gap, so it's crazy.
And these two will dive back into turn number 1 once again here on lap 5. Fairly clean for the start of the race as well, as we have not had a caution just yet here today. But the field continuing to work on to lap number 5. We'll see if we can see any battles further back. That's Eric Andrews currently 3rd on the racetrack. It looks like we might have some small battles brewing back here in the midfield. It looks like Derek Sherman battling with the 2 of Nick Nickerson as they come off of turn number 4 and make their way onto lap number 6. Right now on the racetrack, everybody just getting the groove of their cars, and the 51 going to get loose. Sherman up into the wall. There goes the 2 of Nickerson down on the inside. He'll take the lead once again. He'll hop into 4th place now ahead of Derek Sherman. We take another look back up for the battle for the lead, and these two have not gotten off of each other yet. That's Handwork leading the way. In 2nd, it's Christopher Hamilton, and they have been unseparated since the start of this race, and right now they continue to race their way on to lap number 7. And there's Handwork. We saw him work the outside line. Now he's down on the inside line trying to pull away. But right now, Jordan, he can't get away from Hamilton. He's right there going for another pass to the inside.
Hamilton's making up some ground, as you can see on handwork, as they're getting bumper to bumper so many times during each lap. And you know, handwork had a little bit of a gap on him, but Hamilton made up that ground. But crossing the checkered, and you know, it can be anything. These drivers can be as smooth as possible, but Hamilton's going on his outside, but right behind him. Such a crazy battle for the lead right now, as they're really consistent through lap 8. And you know, this race is just getting started, and it's already crazy.
These two, you can hear the tires squealing as they go by our cameras. They're really working these cars, trying to get them to do anything they can. It looks like we're starting out with a long green flag run as we head our way onto lap number 9 of 100 here at Darlington. If we get a long green flag run, these tires are going to be starting to fall off as quickly as, I'd say, maybe even lap 15, lap 20. They're going to start wanting some new Goodyear Eagles on their cars, but right now tires still seem to be doing their job as the battles are not going away right now, as we just saw Dylan McDonald in the 901 car around on the back straightaway. That's the 35 of Wesley Fuller. And caution is out, the first caution of the night for the 35 of Wesley Fuller, wrecking on the back straightaway. Let's take a look at the replay. Racing with the 14 of Jimmy Covert, and gets too far up the track and into the wall. Darlington is known for getting up close to the wall and giving a kiss to the lady in black, but that was much more than a kiss. That was a hard pounding of the wall there.
You know, he definitely really hit the wall really hard, and you can tell it messed him up a little bit. So he's definitely going to have to pit. Looking on the replay once again, looks like he got a little bit loose, which sent him up into the wall and completely turned the car. So he's definitely going to have to pit, see if he can get some new fresh tires on there, and see if he can make it back out.
Well, that is the first caution of the night as cars come down pit road, led by Carl Handwork. Willie Evernham staying out, but Handwork currently in, along with Hamilton, Andrews, Nickerson, and it looks like the only two staying out are Evernham and Bellitter in the 3, but everybody else is into pit road. They make their way down into their pit stalls. We're going to watch the race off of pit road, see who can make their way out of pit road first. It looks like everybody is in. Once again, only those two cars staying out. That's Evernham and Bellitter. Not sure that's such a good call right now, Jordan, as we're on lap number 11, but these tires are already so worn. Is one car going to come out first? That's Mark Thomas.
You know, they definitely all came out at the same time. They're really fighting for a position right now to come back out on the caution. And, you know, definitely this restart is going to get some people as some... It's going to catch a lot of people off guard and possibly even put them down a few positions and give some people some good luck and maybe get away with a victory or whatever they can pull out here today.
Well, as Evernham and Bellitter make their way into pit road, Mark Thomas led the field coming off of pit road for the first round of pit stops. We're going to take a short break here on Racecraft TV, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the restart here from Darlington.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible. Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. Coming back live is the field getting ready to restart onto lap number 13. Mark Thomas leads the field to green ahead of Handwork, Andrews, Hamilton, and Nickerson. Your current top 5 on the racetrack. Green flag back in the air And Mark Thomas gets his first taste of the lead currently tonight, but Carl Handwerk, who had the lead before the caution, is already looking to his inside to Chevy Monte Carlo side by side, coming off a turn 2. Slight tap of the wall for the 50 of Mark Thomas. Handwerk is going to take the lead in the 18, and Thomas falls now back into second. And more contact with the wall. Seems like Mark Thomas is still hitting it as they're side by side. That's Christopher Hamilton and Eric Andrews with Nick Nickerson in the 2, trying to take that spot away from Andrews.
You know, a pretty good pass for Mark Thomas there, but not Mark Thomas. Carl Handwerk, my bad, going into that turn. And, you know, Chris Hamilton looks like he's running pretty smooth right now, going on the lower line of the track, going right to the outside. And now going in to that other turn, followed by Nick Nickerson, and then number 50 car, Mark Thomas. You know, these drivers are a lot closer than they were before the restart, and, you know, this leads for a lot more pack racing. And and number 9 clips the 50 in a big wreck. It's going to pull out the caution on lap number 15. What a wreck here in Darlington.
More cars wreck into it. That's Joshua Belitter in the 3. He's going to make more contact with the 51 of Derek Sherman. Thomas involved in this one as well. A lot of crashing as they went into turn number 1. And here's the replay. The 9 car of Eric Andrews went into the turn. Not enough room above him. And around goes the 50 of Mark Thomas. Here's another replay. It from a little bit further up. Now on board, and you can see just how violent that crash was for Mark Thomas. Nowhere he could go there. We'll go on board now for the full incident. We'll go on board with the 9 of Eric Andrews as well. And there's the contact. You just saw it. Unfortunate for the 9 car as well. Definitely not what he was trying to do going down into that corner. See if we can grab some more angles of this replay. This is Derek Sherman in the 51, and he sees the cars wrecking in front of him. The 68 also involved and tried to get down to the inside. It was forced to lock up the brakes to avoid spinning around even more. And the 3 of Joshua Belitter also got into it, and you can see him just trying to get it slowed down to avoid incident ahead. Locks up the tires and makes some contact with the 51 as he tries to rejoin. Back up to the front, lap 17, and they just came down pit road only about 7 laps ago, and we really only ran about 2 laps under green. So cars are going to make their way around pit road. Doesn't look like they're going to make their way into pit road right now, as these guys will stay on the racetrack. Don't know if anybody's going to come down pit road except for those cars that got damaged. Andrews, Covert, Crockett, Fuller, they're all into pit road. James Pierzolski is staying out, as well as it looks like Kevin Foster is off of the racetrack. But Handwerk will continue to lead the way here under caution from the Darlington Raceway. We're glad you're joining us here for the Core Racing League Vintage Cup Series live on Racecraft TV. And taking a look at the future schedule for this series. Next Monday night, we're going to be at the famous Rockingham Speedway in the Eastern Carolina 100. Then the Holly Farms 125 at the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. That's coming up on February 22nd, 2 weeks from tonight. As the field continues to work behind the iRacing.com pace car. And Jordan, now we saw 2 cautions fairly close together, and the saying cautions breed cautions is said a lot in racing. And I think it's pretty evident to say that tonight these cautions are going to breed more cautions as the field gets bunched up once again.
You know, definitely there's going to be a lot more cautions, even though this is only lap 18 out of 100. You know, these drivers are racing really good, and there's some drivers who are getting so close to a point where it's taking some people out. But a lot of these drivers seem like they're making it back out, a quick little pit stop, and, you know, they're ready to go back green here really shortly. Carl Handwerk and Christopher Hamilton are still battling for the lead behind the iRacing pace car, and, you know, this is a pretty good top 3 battle right here, including Nick Nickerson. That top 3 is definitely one to watch as we're about to go green.
Lights should be out on the pace car this time by. One more pace lap remaining here, and these starts are single file. This is the Vintage Cup Series because these cars are the classic NASCAR Winston Cup Series cars from the late 1980s. So a lot of the rules are the same, including the restarts. Single file restarts, not the usual double file that we're used to here in NASCAR. So that could be affecting just how often these cautions come out after a restart, because they are starting a little bit more spread out than they usually would. They're not starting double file, and at a very thin track like Darlington, that can become very dangerous as the race goes on. But right now they're restarting single file, and we'll see if cautions will breed more cautions as the field makes their way onto the back straight away. When we came into tonight, the point standings had Chris Hamilton up on the top of the leaderboard. Right now he sits in second, but one of the three drivers tied for second currently leads the way, and the other driver tied for second currently sits behind him in third. So these front guys are all in it for the points, and you can see Chris Hamilton not letting Handwerk get away far at all, as he is right on the back bumper as we get ready to go back to racing here at Darlington. Pace car is down and Handwerk is gone. Green flag back in the air. On to lap number 20. Handwerk leads the way, and Chris Hamilton not getting that great of a start. He's going to be further back in second. Battle starting to brew further back. It looks like everybody single files. They make their way through turn number 1. And the Eric Andrews in the 9 is going to try and make a move on the number 99 of James Perschalski. He's going to take over P14, but another move going on back there. That looked to be Wesley Fuller in the 35. He's also trying to get the move done on James Perschalski, and he will. So now he'll take over the 15th spot. Back up to the front, Handwerk is leading the field in a commanding way. First person back is Hamilton, but it looked like Handwerk might have tapped the wall a little bit there.
You know, Hamilton's making some ground on Handwerk as he's literally right up on his bumper, going on his inside, and now making possibly a pass if he can hold on to it. And he's so close to tell, but Handwerk is going to remain in first as the 64 car of Christopher Hamilton is remaining right behind him. And you know, these two are battling it out crazy, but Handwerk hits the wall, which gives Hamilton a brief timing frame to actually get in front of him, which he now takes the lead going on to lap 23. And you know, tough battle for the top 3 right now as number 2 car Nick Nickerson makes it up to second place. Handwerk hits the wall again, going on to the backstretch, I'm pretty sure, and a lap 24.
Hard hit to the wall for Carl Handwerk coming off of turn number 4. That puts him back into third, and these three were so close together there for a good while, for a good lap or two, and now Handwerk is falling down the order with another tap to the wall. It looks like maybe a little bit of right side damage, not exactly 100% sure. See if we can get a view as one car goes around in the back. That's Dylan McDonald. What a save from the 38. Paul Butler in the 68 is going to get by, but the 38 of Dylan McDonald, what a save from that Chevy Monte Carlo. Unbelievable. It looked like he almost had that car lost, but he was able to keep onto it. See if I can grab that replay. Take a look at that drift going through turn 3 and 4.
You know, you can definitely tell that the tires are actually wearing out going onto the track, and so Darlington's actually making it so where the drivers are going to have to actually be a little smarter going into those turns, take it possibly a little slower, and things like that right there can happen to you and possibly ruin someone else's race depending on how you take them out. But miracles can happen, and like number 88 car, I'm pretty sure, saved it there. And, you know, nearly rubbing the wall, as you can see on board, Dylan McDonald of the 38 car. And, you know, going on to, I'm pretty sure, lap 25, now 26, Christopher Hamilton still leads with Nick Nickerson in second position.
That was almost a full turn drift there from Dylan McDonald. He only lost one position. He sits in 5th now. As we take a look at the battle for the lead, Hamilton and Nickerson right now, the 64 versus the 2. Hamilton comes in 10 points above the 2 car in the point standings right now. So just this one position could catapult Nick Nickerson either close to the lead or on the lead or getting an extended lead over Chris Hamilton, just depending on how the bonus points work out at the end of the night. But right now, it's a commanding lead for Christopher Hamilton. He's trying to take a look at that 2 behind him, make sure that he stays back there. As I have a small battle brewing back here. That's Evernham and Crockett. Right now, the field starting to thin out, starting to get a little bit more grooved into the current green flag run that we're on. And James Perchalski came down into the pit lane, and he is now out of the pit lane. Oh, smoke going on in the back straightaway. 1 car around. That is Dave Lohr in the 17. I saw that on the event list here. Oh my, a huge tap to the wall. Ooh. And a huge hit on the inside wall for Dave Lohr. And I think we also had another incident as well just a moment ago with James Perchalski. Take a look. The 68 is there, and just a tap to the 99 from Paul Butler. So 2 cars wreck in the same turn, coming off of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. No caution for either of these. Oh, sorry, we do have a caution out. So caution is out for those 2 wrecks, and Christopher Hamilton keeps the lead, and we're now back under caution here on lap number 29. And after those 2 wrecks, and we got about 10 laps under green, we might see some cars come down pit road, but we'll see. Christopher Hamilton has the lead. Nick Nickerson in second. Carl Handwerk third. Paul Butler fourth, with Dylan McDonald rounding out your top 5. The full report from pit lane is coming up right after the break, as well as the restart.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
to find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible.
Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack with energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end.
But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Hydration. Sports science was built on hydration, and it's no secret why.
That's why we added a blend of electrolytes to help sustain performance. We tried all of the other energy drinks. They may help you stay awake, but not much else. We combined all 5 pillars of performance into one single form.
Focus.
Recovery.
Energy,
Stamina.
and hydration. We call it Refresh Technology.
And it delivers more.
Welcome back to the Darlington Raceway. Currently working on lap number 32 under caution for the Core Racing League Vintage Cup Series, round number 2. Pretty much everybody came down pit road except for Andrew Gunther. He stayed on the racetrack. Don't mind the 99. That is James Perchalski. He is currently 1 lap down, not on the lead lap. But Nick Nickerson did come down pit road. He won the race off of pit road, so he will start in the second position with Christopher Hamilton right behind, then Carl Handwerk, Paul Butler, and Dylan McDonald, your top 5 coming off of pit road. But Andrew Gunther currently leads the way in the 59 as he stayed on the racetrack. And Jordan, we only had 10 laps on the tires, but with these cars and at Darlington, I think it's a very smart move from Andrew Gunther. He's going to make his way into the pit lane right now to get some fresh tires on for this run.
Definitely a good move, as it's still, the caution's still out there, so he might be able to make it out, I'm pretty sure, before it goes green again, so he's going to have a nice set of fresh tires. And while some other drivers out there may have tires that are wearing down very quickly, so he's probably going to come back out of the pits flaming hot and just completely get up back into the top 5 and then be very consistent throughout the rest of the race.
We'll have to see from that number 59 Wawa Ford Thunderbird as he completely misses his pit stall, I think. Oh no, that's not going to be good for the 59 of Andrew Gunther. I think he completely missed his pit stall. He's going to need to come back down and around. Oh, very unfortunate for the 59. Are the lights out on the pace car? Yes, they are. The 59's not going to be able to make his way down to pit road now. He's going to need to be hoping for a caution as we go back to racing. Jordan, that is such a simple mistake. We don't really expect it a lot of times, but it is something that can happen on iRacing.
You know, that's definitely going to change his race now, because he probably went into there thinking he's going to get some nice new tires and then, you know, come out and be perfectly fine. But now it's going to impact him. He's got to completely come out of the pits, and then I don't even know if he's going to have enough time as they're about to go green. So he's going to have to run on the same tires he's been running. And, you know, I don't think it's going to really do him that well, as Nick Nickerson's going to lead out from the restart with Christopher Hamilton in second and Carl Handwerk in third, going into turns 1 and 2, as Nickerson seems like he's got a pretty good lead, but it's Darlington and anything can happen.
Carl Handwerk, a tap to the wall there coming out of turn number 1. We'll see if he has a lot of damage already on that right side, but now it's just denting it in even more. But he did not go around, so he's still on the racetrack going well. He lost a tiny bit of time as that gap is now about 1.6 seconds as we work our way onto lap number 35. Fresh off of a restart in the field already, fairly spread out with these single file starts. Eric Andrews trying to work around Jimmy Covert in the 14. We'll see if he's able to make his way around. Then there's the 9 of Eric Andrews. We're going to go on board with the 9 car as he tries to work his way around Jimmy Covert in the 14. Will he be able to get by? And you can see just how much he has to feather the throttle going through the corners here at Darlington. That turn 3 and 4 is tighter than turn 1 and 2. Very difficult to get that car to rotate through that corner as he is right on the back bumper of the 14, trying to find any way he can around.
Making up some ground on the 14 car as he's going to try and go on his inside to go on turn 3 and 4. Definitely going to have to slow down there or he's going to fly up into the wall. But, you know, they're having a pretty good battle since literally you cannot floor it into these turns or stuff will happen. But the 14 car and I'm pretty sure the 9 car, I'm not too sure, are having a pretty good battle. And, you know, under the backstretch, and not too bad of a ground being made as they're being solid on where they are, and you know, coming back around to the main part of the raceway, and we're about to go on lap 39. I'm pretty sure it's just starting 38, and you know.
You can see that lap time comparison down on the bottom of your screen right now, and you can see if it's negative and green, that means that Covert ran a faster lap than Andrews. And last time by, that is definitely what happened as the gap continues to climb its way just a little bit larger now as we go off board now from Eric Andrews and back onto our TV cameras. But you can see those lap times, and last time by, it was Covert going faster than Andrews across the line. We'll see if it updates for lap number 38. There it is, and it looks like Andrews slightly faster now once again, trading on and off on each of these laps as the 14 gets a little slower, gets a little loose, and here comes the 9 of Eric Andrews right back to the back bumper. He's now going to go to the inside, try and make that move going into 3.
You know, definitely going on the inside as the 14 car looks like he got a little loose as they're going to continuously battle as the 14 car looks like he's making a tiny bit of ground. We're going on to lap 40 into turns 1 and 2. 14 is sliding up to the top of the track, but getting right back down to the middle. As they're going to the back of the straightaway, you can see on the onboard of the bumper as the 14 car rubs the wall. It's definitely going to slow him down a little bit on the backstretch, going on to lap 41. Not too much of a gap, I'm pretty sure, pretty much, it looks like a second of a gap between the two. And, you know, that wreck could have ended a lot worse, but luckily he saved it and keeps on racing.
And that's very unfortunate for the 14. They were having a great battle there, but after the 9 got by him, he goes up, taps the wall, and now he is sitting a good bit behind the 9. As we hop back up to the battle for the lead, Nick Nickerson still holding on to it, but the current points leader and the main guy who we kind of predicted to get the race win is the 64 of Christopher Hamilton. He sits about 7.5 tenths back in second place currently, but trying to make his way back up to the front. About 8 tenths now, the separation between these two. I want to take a look at their lap time history. And you can see the last few laps, Hamilton's been lapping faster than the 9 car. Last time by, or sorry, the 9 car has been lapping faster than Hamilton. Last time by a 29. Oh, no, sorry. I did have it right the first time. So last time by, on lap number 42, was a 30.57 for Hamilton, a 30.61 for Nick Nickerson. So Hamilton's etching away at that gap, but as the tires continue to wear, Jordan, do you think he's going to be able to close it in all the way? And it's one thing to catch the driver in front. It's a completely different thing to get by him.
From what it seems, he's making a lot of ground on him, actually, running the top line of the Darlington Raceway, as that you can literally tell that the tires are wearing out a lot. So possibly looking for another caution so we can go and get some fresh tires, as number 2 gets a little loose as Hamilton makes up some ground, touches the back bumper of the number 2 car, and on the back straightaway going into 3 and 4, going around the 99 car, as the number 2 car completely rubs the whole wall, and which is going to let Hamilton, I'm pretty sure, go right on by, going into turn 1 and 2.
Man, what a series of events that was. The 99 tried to get out of the way. That's James Perchalski. He's 3 laps down right now. The 2 car had to slow way down. That made Hamilton catch up to him. They made contact on the back straightaway, then going through 3 and 4. The 2 car hits the wall once again. Now he sits in second as Hamilton takes the lead away. That is just how quickly the leads can go from a huge gap, almost a 7/10 gap, into now you're in second as the caution comes out. Looks like we have Dave Lohr around somewhere on the racetrack in the 17. Let's take a look at the replay. Looks like this might have been the same place he wrecked earlier, and yes, it is. The same exact thing, too. Taps the wall on the outside, slams the inside wall with the front end. I think that might be a done night for Dave Lohr, and he has entered into the pit lane, so that might be the end of the night for the 17 of Dave Lohr, but Christopher Hamilton takes the lead back. Now the question is he going to come down pit road for tires? We're already about halfway done with this race. If he comes down to pit road for tires, he runs the risk of losing the lead on pit road, but he also runs the risk of losing the lead if he stays out when we go back racing.
Either way, it can be a risk, but even if he goes in for tires at the end, he will most likely be the one who gets to stay out longer on the next caution, if there even is one. So, personally, in my opinion right now, I would go in, get some nice fresh tires as that looks what might be happening. Not too sure, as they're both going to go into pit lane, get some fresh tires, and see who can come up first out of pit lane.
There goes Hamilton in lawn with everybody else. It looks like one car that's a lap down staying out on the racetrack. Actually, it looks like Derek Sherman staying out under the first round of pit stops, along with Andrew Gunther, Mark Thomas, Joshua Bellitter also in there as well. But everybody else into pit lane, and we'll see who's going to lead them off of the pit lane as Christopher Hamilton makes his way into his pit stall. First pit stall as he got the pole. Now, who's going to make it out of pit road first? If Hamilton, Handwerk, Andrews, and Covert, the top 5 in their pit stalls right now. Who's going to make their way back onto the racetrack and join the pit lane, join the pit line first? Right sides go up on the 64. Some cars coming from the back. The 64 is going to be down and away, but it's not going to be fast enough. McDonald out first with Eric Andrews in second. Paul Butler in third. A completely new top three making their way out of pit road first. Hamilton stays in for damage repair. Handwork is still in as Matt Crockett is also still in, along with the Evernham and Nickerson. It looks like a lot of drivers getting damage fixed on this caution, and Jimmy Covert's going to come out in the 14. He's now in 9th.
You know, definitely a pretty crazy race, switching up the top three out of pit lane. As you know, Derek Sherman, the 51 car, is going to take the leader's position going in to lap 49, I think going on to 50, as we're still remaining in caution. Going green, hopefully very shortly, as we get more drivers out of pit lane. And, you know, definitely going to be a pretty good battle, as Hamilton is in 5th. He's probably looking to get up back into the top three once again with the fresh tires, as they all do. So it'll be a pretty crazy battle within the next few laps.
Well, we're going to step away really quickly just for another round of commercials. We'll be back less than a minute. We'll be back here on Racecraft TV for the restart here from Darlington.
Welcome to our music festival. Welcome to our music festival.
Anytime you can have a product that can truly change someone's life, I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how. Anytime you can have a product that can truly change someone's life, I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how long we put into research and development for this. Most liquid carnitine is around 1,500 milligrams. We have a 2,000 milligram blend of 4 different types of liquid carnitine. We also have GBB, so you're actually going to be burning fat after you consume this product. This is going to make you sweat. This is going to make you not want to stop. You are going to perform like you've never performed before, and I can promise you that.
Welcome back to Darlington. Some more cars coming down pit road. That's Derek Sherman, who stayed out onto the racetrack in the first round of pit stops. He now makes his way into pit road. His lights are out on the pace car. On lap 50, we'll be going green onto 51, exactly over halfway done with tonight's race. Dylan McDonald sits in the lead currently after the race off pit road, with Eric Andrews in second, Paul Butler third, Christopher Hamilton fourth, with Jimmy Covert rounding out your top 5. A completely new top 5 now, as Hamilton came in to the caution under the lead, but now he sits back in 4th with cars in front of him to make his way back up to the lead. We'll see how quickly he can do that as we go back to racing. And as we go back to racing, we're going to stay on board with the 9 of Eric Andrews, let you experience the sound of these old 1987 Winston Cup cars for a lap around Darlington.
You know, we're about halfway through the race. As you can see, number 9 of Eric Andrews going up on that top line, following Dylan McDonald in the 38 car. You know, the experience behind these cars are crazy, as you know, you can't just go into a turn and hopefully just full send and get it back out. There's a lot of mind tricks and mind strategy that goes behind the wheel of these things, as these two are having a pretty good battle. Not too big of a gap and not too small, as they seem pretty consistent, as Eric Andrews makes up some ground and gets a little loose. He's going to drop it down all the way low, putting him in to 4th position. Christopher Hamilton getting it back up in the 3rd position, as Handwork, I'm pretty sure, gets in front of him. And, you know, going in to, pretty sure, turn 3 and 4. And a lot of position changes here within the last 2 laps after the restart. And, you know, these drivers are definitely fighting a lot harder as they were at the start of the race, coming down to those final few laps. Well, final about 47 laps here at Darlington.
And Eric Andrews, after getting loose, he'll fall back into 6th. Definitely not what Andrews was looking for, but the battle for the lead is brewing between Dylan McDonald, Christopher Hamilton, and you can throw Paul Butler in there as well in the 68. He sits in 3rd. Hamilton right on that back bumper. We'll go on board to the nose of the 64 of Christopher Hamilton, as he tries to chase down Dylan McDonald up ahead. You can see him getting out of the gas, going through turn number 2, trying to get some more momentum, heading down onto the back straightaway. As Carl Handwork makes his way up into third, he made a pass on Paul Butler behind him. So there goes Carl Handwork. We saw him lead earlier on up until the first caution, and even after that first caution leading into the second caution. But now Handwork making his way back up the field. He is in this battle for the lead now. 4 cars all separated by less than 1 second right now. Actually, the top 5 all separated by less than 1 second as we go racing down the back straightaway. Here comes Hamilton to the inside. Tries to get by Dylan McDonald, who currently holds the lead on the outside line. Here comes the 64 of Hamilton on the inside. Is he going to be able to take the lead? Still side by side. And here comes Handwork in the 18 joining the fight.
You know, definitely a crazy battle on the backstretch, I think, lap 56. Hamilton's really defending where he is at right now. And, you know, Handwork is right behind him, followed by Nick Anderson. And McDonald's leading up there in first. You know, these racers are really, really competitive right now, as this is all that matters. The top 4 and 5th is right behind them as they're coming down the main straightaway here at Darlington. Crazy pack right there. And this could lead for a lot of crazy racing and some possible crashes as they're all getting so close. The number 2 car getting on the inside of Handwork, but looks like he's getting back behind him on the backstretch. Hamilton going to try to go on the inside of Dylan McDonald. And he's going to make up some ground. Can he hold it? Going on the main stretch. No, he cannot. A few sparks going on in the back. And, you know, lap 58 going on 59 after the backstretch. Crazy top 5 right now here at Darlington. And a lot more laps to come with Handwork on the bumper of that 68 car.
He's battling with Paul Butler after that tap to the wall, going through turns 3 and 4, and he will take that spot. So now he sits in 4th as the 2 car now in 3rd. Dylan McDonald was able to keep the lead through all that carnage. And now Hamilton sits in 2nd. It's already very quickly. We're almost to lap number 60 and almost to 40 laps to go. After halfway, these laps start to wind their way down. And right now, Dylan McDonald doing a great job commanding this lead. And there's Christopher Hamilton right behind him. But the gap is closed back once again. And here comes the 2 of Nick Nickerson as well. That gap also closing as 1 car smoking up ahead. That looks to be the 99 of James Pierzchalski, as he is currently 3 laps down and in the way of the leaders as they come up to him. How is this going to affect the battles? Is the 99 not going to get out of the way? A nudge coming from Dylan McDonald, and he's going to get wrecked, and around goes the 2, and so does the leader. Multiple cars around on the back straightaway. Butler's involved as well.
What a wreck with 40 laps to go. The caution comes back out. So many cars are in it. Number 2 gets hit once again. I believe that's the 14 car, as you can see on the replay. So you can see the 99 car getting in front of all the pack of cars. And, you know, Josh, that was a crazy wreck on the backstretch.
There was a good amount of cars that were faster than the 99 going through the corner. And they just had no way to get around, and they stacked up and around they went coming off of turn number 3. Chris Hamilton was able to get by. Same thing with Handwork. Same thing with Eric Andrews in the 9. So a good amount of cars were able to get by that, but a lot of cars absolutely nowhere to go. As cars make their way now back through pit road. They make their way back in. Lap 61 here from Darlington. The race off pit road and the restart coming up next here on Racecraft TV.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible.
Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack with energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end.
But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Hydration. Sports science was built on hydration, and it's no secret why.
That's why we added a blend of electrolytes to help sustain performance. We tried all of the other energy drinks. They may help you stay awake, but not much else. We combined all 5 pillars of performance into one single form:
Focus.
Recovery.
energy,
Stamina.
and hydration. We call it refresh technology.
And it delivers more.
Welcome back to the Darlington Raceway, round number 2 of the Core Racing League Vintage Cup Series, live here on Racecraft TV. We work lap number 63 now under caution after this wreck involving multiple leaders coming off of turn number 2. The 99 of James Prochalski, 3 laps down, gets in the way of the leaders, and around they go. They stack up behind him. Nothing any of these leaders could do, and you can see just, especially here at Darlington, Jordan, we talked about it earlier, this track is really only 2 grooves wide, and when you run in the middle like that, and you can't pass high, you can't pass low, contact's inevitable at that point.
You know, that definitely caused a big wreck there in the back straight, and you know, a lot of drivers got piled up, so it's definitely going to affect some of their races. As you can see, Christopher Hamilton, the points leader, in 7th in the 64 car, and Andrew Gunther, I'm pretty sure it's the first time we've seen him up in 1st position. Handwork is still in 3rd, Eric Andrews in 2nd, McDonald in 4th, and Crockett in 5th. That's your top 5. Lap 64 of the restart that is about to happen. And you know, Darlington is it's crazy for what it is having right now, and we're about to restart here at Darlington.
I'm just taking a quick look at the weather. We haven't really talked about it much tonight, as it is a night race. It's not really affected too much by weather, but it is quite a hot night here in South Carolina. 78 degrees Fahrenheit and high winds, 10-mile-an-hour winds as well, as we work around 11:10 sim time. 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the track temp, so not that much different than the air temperature, but still fairly hot for a Darlington evening race. As we go back to racing, Andrew Gunther leads the field across the line, and we're now racing on lap number 65. 36 laps to go here from NASCAR's first super speedway. Carl Handwork working the 3rd position right now. He qualified in 2nd, and we saw him lead a good portion of this race earlier on. He fell off a little bit, and you can see all that damage to the right side in the front in that number 18 car, but he is still on the racetrack, fighting strong in the 3rd spot. And there's your points leader, Christopher Hamilton. We saw him battle for the lead a lot as well. Same thing with the 2 car of Nick Nickerson up ahead of him. They're now both working back in 6th and 5th. So just how quickly these drivers have fallen down the order after these cautions, but still trying to race their way back up through the field, as we're on board currently with the 64, and we'll hop back up to the battle for the lead, as it looks like Gunther has a lot of cars behind him, one of those being a lapped car. With the single file restarts, the lap cars start on the inside line, so the 68 is 1 lap down. That is Paul Butler in the 68, and Eric Andrews in 2nd, trying to work his way around him, but that is opening the door for Carl Handwork. Here he comes, looking for the 2nd spot.
The 38 definitely got a little loose, but went on the inside as Handwork gets a little loose. Number 9 gets up on the wall. Almost made a lot more contact with the number 2 car. As you can see, smoke coming down from a little bit ahead on the front stretch. You're going into turns 1 and 2. That 9 car is fighting for 5th place with Chris Hamilton behind him. really fighting his way back to try and get into the top 5. And a lot of cars reaching lap traffic now that the race is more, I would say, more of a faster pace as these drivers are finding their lines. As the 68 car is on them, as the 38 and the number 2 are fighting for 3rd and 4th, coming in to the front stretch.
And they work their way now back onto the back straightaway off of turn number 2. And the 2 car went 3 wide, trying to work his way through this lap traffic. The 68 of Paul Butler falling like a rock, but Dylan McDonald going to get loose going through the corner. He slides. The 68 sliding as well. They're wrecking on the front straightaway coming off of turn 4. Contact on the inside wall. That's going to bring out another caution. Dylan McDonald in the 38 around on the front straightaway. Paul Butler also went around. And it looks like Eric Andrews might have also gotten a piece of that. Did Eric Andrews? Yes, he did. The 68 came up and tapped him. That's what's going to bring out this caution. Wild wreck on the front straightaway. And unfortunate for the 38 and the 9. They got caught up as the 38 tried to work around a lapped car, and he got loose. And that's going to bring out this next caution. We're going to step away for a quick moment. We'll be right back with the pit stops here on Racecraft.
Time you can have a product that can truly change someone's life. I think
Welcome to our music festival. Welcome to our music festival.
anytime you can have a product that can truly change someone's life, I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how long we put into research and development for this. Most liquid carnitine is around 1,500 milligrams. We have a 2,000 milligram blend of 4 different types of liquid carnitine. We also have GBB, so you're actually going to be burning fat after you consume this product. This is going to make you sweat. This is going to make you not want to stop. You are going to perform like you've never performed before, and I can promise you that.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina, the Core Vintage Cup Series. Live on Racecraft TV. Glad you can join us here live on this beautiful Monday evening as we continue to work on lap number 72 of 100. Pit road is now open as cars are already in pit road. Hamilton's in, Handwork in, Thomas in, so is Matt Crockett, Willie Evernham, Andrew Gunther, and Eric Andrews. The 2 cars staying out, but as we've seen, we've really only seen 1 car stay out the entire night. Usually they take 1 more lap around the track under the pace car speed and then come into the pit lane, as not pitting here at Darlington is a rare occasion, especially after a long green flag run. Carl Handwork going to come out of pit road first, Nick Nickerson in second, then Hamilton, Crockett, Bellitter. It looks like Evernham's going to come out, and that is Jimmy Covert in the 14, believe taking a wave around to work his way back up onto the lead lap. But the 59 of Andrew Gunther now leading the way here from the Darlington Raceway. And Jordan, we've seen it all night, and we've saw these restarts. They really start out very spread out, and then they get tightened together as the run goes on, and we see those battles develop. More fresh tires from the guys around the midfield. First car on fresh tires is Carl Handwork in the 18, sitting in third. Are you expecting more of the same battles that we've been seeing, and maybe another 10-lap green flag run before another set of cautions?
You know, I'm definitely going to, as a lot of the drivers that came out of pits have a lot of fresh tires now, so they'll be able to go a little harder and not have the worry of sliding out. And so Gunther and Andrews, I'm pretty sure, are the ones who stayed out on the track, and so they're eventually going to have to get into the pits and now once again worry about sliding out. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit of an advantage for the few that came out of the pits recently, coming down to the final few moments of the caution, coming back in on the new restart.
Well, the field's still working behind the iRacing.com pace car, and this gives us a good opportunity to take a look at exactly where these guys currently sit on the racetrack. And we'll take a look at the positions gained and lost from each of these drivers. And right now, Andrew Gunther up 11 spots from starting 12th. He sits in first. He's tonight's biggest mover of the night, and technically the biggest loser is Kevin Foster, but he did not start the race, so he is down 14 spots because he didn't even start in third. But it looks like the most positions lost is 9 positions, and that's Christopher Hamilton, the points leader, currently sitting in 10th. And Jordan, what's going through Christopher Hamilton's mind as he currently sits now in the 10th position, knowing that if he finishes where he is going to lose the points lead at the end of the night?
You know, he's definitely probably thinking of ways he can probably try and get back up into the top 3 to get up back into first position. As, you know, falling back into the field, you know, it could really suck. And so I really feel like those fresh tires are going to actually help him and make him proceed up higher into the field of cars, making him be able to hold on just by a little bit onto his points lead, as I'm pretty sure they have a 10-point gap in between the points leader and second. And so Hamilton's definitely going to have to fight a little harder, even though he's been fighting very hard, as he's got a 4-second gap, I'm pretty sure, between the leader coming back around on Darlington. Lap 74 as they're going green.
Gunther leads the field into the first turn as Eric Andrews sits in second. He's going to go battling with Carl Handwerk. And we've seen Handwerk in the 18 have a really good night so far, and he's been down the order and back up the order. Now he's trying to work his way back up to the lead. One car around in the back. That's Dylan McDonald. He makes contact with the 99 of James Perchalski. They're around coming off turn 2.
You know, what a wreck on the backstretch. We're going to see if we can go to the replay on what exactly happened. You can see the 38. Oh, and then the 99. Not really sure what actually happened, but it took out the 38 as well. So we're going to rewind that and sort of see what happened.
Looks like the 3 car also getting into an incident there. I'm going to see if I can grab that 3 car. There it is. And go on board with the 3 as well. Because it looked like it was just a slight tap onto the 99. And these cars get so tight coming off of these corners that it almost becomes impossible to turn these things. You can see right there, no time to react for the 3 to try and get it slowed down. He taps the 99 car, and absolutely nowhere for the 38 to go. You know who else was involved in this? Christopher Hamilton. He got a little bit of that damage. Let's rewind that one more time. I want to see how much damage that 64 Christopher Hamilton got, because it looked very close, if he even got any. Oh, it might have gotten a little bit to the left side, but it doesn't look like too much. Definitely not that much compared to the other drivers involved in that wreck, but nonetheless, we are back under caution. And we're going to step away for one quick moment, get all of our ads out of the way so we can go commercial free during the last 20 laps of the race. You're watching the Core Racing League Vintage Cup Series live here on Racecraft TV.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible.
Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
Stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end.
But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Hydration. Sports science was built on hydration, and it's no secret why.
That's why we added a blend of electrolytes to help sustain performance. We tried all of the other energy drinks. They may help you stay awake, but not much else. We combined all 5 pillars of performance into one single form:
Focus,
Recovery.
energy,
stamina.
and hydration. We call it Refresh Technology.
And it delivers more.
Welcome to our music festival, Mark. Welcome to our music festival, Mark.
Anytime you can have a product that can truly change someone's life, I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how long we put into research and development for this. Most liquid carnitine is around 1,500 milligrams. We have a 2,000 milligram blend of 4 different types of liquid carnitine. We also have GBB, so you're actually going to be burning fat after you consume this product. This is going to make you sweat. This is going to make you not want to stop. You are going to perform like you've never performed before, and I can promise you that.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. Currently under caution, getting ready to go back to racing from the Darlington Raceway here in the Core Vintage Cup Series. Lap 79 of 100. We'll be going back racing with 21 laps to go. We saw a stretch of cautions recently, but we'll see if these guys can keep it clean towards the end of the race here. A lot of damaged race cars, but it's Andrew Gunther with a clean race car out in front. We're back racing. Eric Andrews not getting the best start. He sits in second. You can see Carl Handwerk in the 18 all over the back bumper. He's going to move to the inside. Tries to take over the second spot. He's right there. They're even going into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Nick Nickerson in the 2. He's also right behind as the 9 car gives a slight tap to the wall. These guys are battling for second. There goes the 18 in a second. The 2's going to take over third. Andrews now falls to fourth.
Tough battle going into turns 3 and 4, coming onto the front straight away. The 59 and the 18 and the 2 having a tough battle for second, like you said. Pretty big gap, a 1 second gap for Andrew Gunther in the 59 car in first position. And these drivers are battling it out like crazy with 81 laps out of 100. So a little bit more to go here at Darlington as they're going up on the top line of turns 3 and 4. And Josh, these two are racing really, really aggressively, but keeping it clean at the same time.
And they're starting to catch the leader of Andrew Gunther up ahead as well. And these guys trying to work their way back up to the lead. There's the current battle for first. We'll drop it down to just the current top 3 as well. So it's Gunther, Handwerk, and Nickerson right now. They're making up this battle, and the 2 cars into the wall, and here comes Eric Andrews now into third. He's going to take over the 3rd spot. The 2 will fall into 4th. Very tough for that 2 car of Nick Nickerson. A good break for Eric Andrews. He's now back into 3rd. But that just goes to show one tap of the wall here at Darlington. If you're on it for too long, you're going to lose multiple positions. And we just saw Nickerson get a little lucky there, only losing 1.
These two are battling really, really well. Nickerson and Andrews, for 3rd position, as Andrews is in 3rd, and then Nickerson is right behind him in 4th as he's coming on his inside, going into turns 1 and 2. As Nickerson takes over 3rd position with 9 going into 4th as Chris Hamilton is coming back. He's in 5th position right now, trying to work his way up to the top 3.
And there's your points leader, Christopher Hamilton. He make a move on Eric Andrews as well. Eric Andrews will fall into 5th with Christopher Hamilton back up into the top 4 now. 64 makes his way up into one more position. There's Nick Nickerson. He's in 4th, but up at the front, it's Andrew Gunther and Carl Handwerk right now. And those top 2 are battling as Andrew Gunther gets loose coming off turn 2. Here comes Carl Handwerk trying to make the lead. He's trying to get the pass done. He's going to go up to the top of the racetrack. He now gets loose, sliding up into the wall. A small tap to the outside wall, but as they come across the line on 15 to go, the 59 keeps the lead away from the 18. They dive back into turns number 1 and 2. I don't know how much longer the 59 can hold the lead. The 18 is right there.
These two are definitely battling it out like crazy, literally bumper to bumper on the backstretch. And you know, the 59 car of Gunther's keeping it pretty consistent, keeping it straight, holding off Carl Handwerk in the 18 car as they're getting closer and closer. The 18 car is trying literally the hardest, just cannot make a move as he keeps on sliding up to the top of the track, going onto the backstretch as they're bumper to bumper.
Back onto the front straightaway. Sorry, the back straightaway. The 59 leads the way. And you can see just how close Handwerk is behind. We're going to go on board with Carl Handwerk. We're going to show you the lap time comparison as they sit right now. And you can see last time by a 30.583 from Carl Handwerk. And last time by was a 30.61 for Andrew Gunther. So slightly faster, but caution back out on the racetrack. We have a wreck further back. I believe it's Christopher Hamilton. Here's the replay. What happened between these guys? He taps the wall, gets sent to the inside, and a huge contact on the inside wall. That is so unfortunate for your current points leader. I don't think he's going to be leading the points much after tonight as Hamilton slams the wall. Second place in the point standings right now is a tie between Paul Butler, Nick Nickerson, and Carl Handwerk. And with Nickerson and Handwerk second and third right now, they're so close together in the points. I think we're going to see some new points leaders coming out of tonight. But a huge wreck and championship implications for Christopher Hamilton on that lap as they wrecked on the front straightaway, and we're on lap number 89 of 100 now. We'll be going back to racing with inside 10 laps to go. Now's the question: do you come in for tires or do you stay out for the track position? Handwerk chooses to stay out. So does the 9 of Eric Andrews. Willie Evernham also stays out. Gunther's in, Nickerson in, Sherman in, Crockett in, Thomas in. Looks like Belitter's also going to make his way in. Christopher Hamilton with his damage, he's obviously in. Paul Butler and James Perchalski already in pit road. So Handwerk, Andrews, Evernham, Covert stay out on the racetrack. Jordan, do you think that's a good opportunity for these guys? They're going to be on more worn tires than a lot of people that are in the field right now. The last time these guys pitted was on lap 71 for Handwerk, 61 for Andrews, 76 for Evernham, and 72 for Covert. So in the name of Eric Andrews right now, he's going to be going green on 30-lap old tires. Everybody else about 20 laps and older compared to the guys that are now in pit road. Mark Thomas wins that race coming off of pit road. Sorry, Andrew Gunther won the race coming off of pit road. They're now on completely fresh tires, just pitting on lap number 89. Do you think it's a good move to stay out here? Or do you think these guys that just came down pit road are going to have the advantage?
You know, it's definitely going to possibly affect him when it comes to like super tight racing, because he could, you know, slide up into the top side of the track. But I also feel like it's a pretty good idea, as he doesn't want to lose positions. And so the drivers coming out of the pit will have to go, I'm pretty sure, to the back, if I'm correct on how that works, depending on where they were possibly when the caution came out or wherever it was. So they're going to have to fight for their positions back, but Handwerk, Andrews, and everyone's going to have to stay, or going to get to stay up there with the 30-lap old tires, which could once again affect them. But I personally feel like it could possibly be a good or a bad outcome when it comes to going green here again.
So the 59 will line up in fourth place with Handwerk, Andrews, and Evernham ahead of him. Covert did come down pit road. You can see the 14 there in his pit stall. But Handwerk, Andrews, and Evernham staying out on the racetrack. They're going to be your top three when we go back to racing. And right now we're looking to go back to racing with about 8 laps to go. And this is going to be a very important restart for Handwerk, Andrews, and Evernham. How much of a jump can they get on the 59 of Andrew Gunther behind them? Because right now, that is their main competition on the racetrack to try and keep them behind. So Handwerk, Andrews, and Evernham, again, the 3 cars that stayed out. I cannot stress this enough. That is a huge move, not only in these cars. We know these cars are used to chewing up tires. They're, you know, the old Winston Cup cars from 1987. They really chew up tires incredibly quickly. and just the way they handle. They're basically drifting through the corners every corner, and you're fighting it on entry, you're fighting it in the middle, you're fighting it on exit. These tires wear incredibly quickly. And you add Darlington into the mix. Darlington is one of the oldest surfaces in NASCAR, and here on iRacing it's no different. It chews up tires and it spits them out. So the tire wear is so immense at this racetrack with this car as well. Staying out is a brave move, and I can only hope that Handwork, Andrews, and Evernham are confident in the car they brought so they can try and get the win. But as they come down the back straightaway, we'll be going back to racing on lap number 93. 8 laps to go. Jordan, who do you think is going to get the best out of this restart? Because we have 3 cars on old tires, then a whole sweep of cars behind them on fresh tires waiting to go.
You know, you can see back there in the 11th position, Christopher Hamilton. I feel like he can get a little bit of a hole shot to possibly get himself up to at least 5th. But I feel like coming out on top is going to be Carl Handwork in the 18 car, defending that first position against Eric Andrews in the 9 car as they're going in to turn 1 and 2. And, you know, like you said, the old tires will definitely get them. And so that's why I'm picking Christopher Hamilton to come back with the fresh tires, as he's got a few more laps remaining, going on to, I think, 6 laps remaining here at Darlington. And I think the 19 car started rubbing the wall. Not too sure, but Josh, you know, this is pretty crazy racing right now.
That was the 19 of Willie Evernham that hit the wall. One of the cars that is on those old tires. He hits the wall again. The 50 of Mark Thomas gets in the brakes. Now he's going to be in a battle with the 2 of Nick Nickerson behind him as they race their way out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. 3 wide further back. That's your points leader, Christopher Hamilton. He just had that wreck that brought out this last caution. He is on fresh tires and on a mission right now as the 50 goes around Mark Thomas. Can he save it? Taps the inside wall. He's around. Doesn't look like we have a caution, though. If he can get it back going, we're not going to have a caution. Quick replay on what happened to Mark Thomas here. We'll go on board with the 50 car of Mark Thomas, and it looks like just gets loose coming out of turn 4, but he got it going quick enough to where no caution was brought out. So we're still under green here at Darlington. We'll hop back up to the battle for the lead, which isn't a battle right now, as Handwork and Andrews sit 1st and 2nd, and a solid 9/10 separate these two. Andrew Gunther sits in 3rd with Nick Nickerson in 4th. And Jordan, right now these gaps are starting to widen. Do you think these guys can keep these gaps as they are? Or do you think they're going to close in once again?
You know, it's crazy to think that there's already a 1 second gap going on to 2, as Handwork is actually gaining a lot of ground, as the 59 car is going to take over 2nd place over the 9 car, as looks like he's still losing ground against Handwork. So, you know, I feel like these gaps are going to slowly get larger, but there's also that opportunity of them getting shorter. But, you know, Nick Anderson coming up into the top 3 pretty fast, and, you know, really behind the 59 car, not by much. But, you know, Carl Handwork has still got that lead with a 2.7 second gap, and, you know, I feel like he's going to come on top here at Darlington.
Work our way on to lap number 99, this time by 2 laps to go. A 3-second gap for Carl Handwork, but Andrew Gunther was that first car that took fresh tires, and he sits now in 2nd. There goes the 2 of Nick Nickerson. He's going to grab the 3rd spot away from Eric Andrews. Eric Andrews was another one of those cars that didn't pit on that last caution. Christopher Hamilton will take over the 4th spot. He's your points leader, trying to gain as many positions as he can. It looks like Andrew Gunther might have made some contact with the wall, as the 2 car now hops into 2nd place. 1 lap car on the inside. That is the 17 of Dave Lohr. But coming across the line this time by, the field is going to take the white flag. And we're going to have 1 final lap remaining here at Darlington. Handwork all night has been dominant. He went to the back. Came back up to the front. Now a 3-second gap Not enough time for Nickerson to close it in naturally. He's going to need a mistake from Carl Handwerk. But right now, that 18 looking perfect as he makes his way into turn number 3. 100 laps done here at the Lady in Black. And coming out on top, it's going to be Carl Handwerk in the 18. Grabs the win from Darlington. Great win for the number 18. The 2 of Nick Nickerson comes home in second, with Andrew Gunther in third, Christopher Hamilton in fourth, and Eric Andrews rounds out your top 5. What a race here from Darlington.
You know, definitely a lot of crazy races and a lot of tough battles, you know, going throughout Darlington. The track can be really good to you and it can be really bad, but it looks like the 18 car of I'm pretty sure Carl Handwerk, you know, he had the track going the best in the 18 car and doing some victory donuts on the front stretch for all you who are watching live right now. And, you know, and he came out on top, and I'm pretty sure it's going to make some changes in the points.
What a race here from Darlington as we take a look at your final race results. Handwerk takes the win. Nick Nickerson in second with Andrew Gunther in third. Christopher Hamilton fourth. Eric Andrews rounds out your top 5 with Derek Sherman in sixth. Matt Crockett in seventh. Joshua Bellitter in eighth. Ninth is Willie Evernham with Jimmy Covert rounding out your top 10. Then it's Mark Thomas, Paul Butler, James Pierce-Chalsky, Dave Lord, Dylan McDonald, Wesley Fuller, and Kevin Foster rounding out your final grid or final results. We're going to take a short 2-minute break here from Darlington, and we'll be back with an interview with your race winner, Carl Handwerk. Don't go anywhere here on Racecraft TV.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible.
Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
The fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack with energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end.
But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Hydration. Sports science was built on hydration, and it's no secret why.
That's why we added a blend of electrolytes to help sustain performance. We tried all of the other energy drinks. They may help you stay awake, but not much else. We combined all 5 pillars of performance into one single form.
Focus.
Recovery.
Energy,
Stamina.
and hydration. We call it Refresh Technology.
And it delivers more.
Welcome back to the Darlington Raceway. The 100 laps are finished here from the Darlington Raceway. You're in Darlington, South Carolina. Your winner tonight was Carl Handwerk. And we're going to bring him up into the broadcast booth. Carl, welcome to the booth. What a race here from Darlington.
Yeah, that was a bit of a survival. I think it's probably the best word for it. That was, that was rough. I mean, I was just talking to some of the other guys, and I think that was pretty much who's going to hit the wall last. Who's going to make it to the end, basically. But yeah, I'll take it.
Now, you had a great start early on. You got an early jump to the lead, but then you fell back the order. What exactly happened that made you fall back so far that you had to really climb yourself back up through the middle portion of that race?
Actually, pretty much right what we just talked about. I got into the wall a little bit, and then I got in the wall a little bit the next lap, and I think that kind of tore up the car just a little bit, that it didn't want to turn into the corner. So, that's what put me back, like a second and a half, 2 seconds. And I figured out how to drive the car like that. And I started reeling the back end a little bit, but then, kind of caution after caution helped me obviously get back up in there. But they don't seem like they like to fix the cars under pit stops here, other than with a faster pair. It takes forever for them to fix any kind of damage. So that's why I was kind of just beat up the whole race.
Now you were in the fight for the points championship, 10 points behind going in. With your position that you finished, it looks like you're going to be able to gain that points lead away from Christopher Hamilton. Are you running for points? Are you focusing on that championship? Or are you focusing on going round by round?
Yeah, I mean, it's still plenty early. I mean, this is, second race of the season. Obviously the win early in the season is nice to lock myself into the playoffs itself, and kind of both settle back and kind of fall back and relax a little bit. But that also kind of opens up the opportunity for, well, let me just go ahead and grab another win and grab some more playoff points. So it's definitely good to have that win under the belt, and kind of changes the focus for the rest of the regular season here.
Well, we head to Rockingham Speedway next week. Are you good at Rockingham? Are you confident there in that 18?
I do like it. A lot of people don't. It's a bumpy. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a bumpy track, so you really have to hit the bumps the right way and kind of throw the car in there. But that's how these cars drive. I mean, every asphalt oval you go to, you swore was a dirt track, because you're kind of throwing this car in there sideways and just trying to make it stick. So Rockingham's no different. There's a couple lines in each corner, but there's really one that's going to kind of fall into place. And hopefully I just put myself in the right spot and avoid the calamity next week.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here in the booth. Anyone else you would like to thank?
I just want to thank the sponsors, Raise Energy, Joka Graphics, and Wooden Nickel Woodworking. Definitely thanks for them for the entire season, and thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much. Carl Handwerk, your winner here from Darlington. And that's going to do it for us here on Racecraft TV. An awesome round number 2 for the Core Vintage Cup Series. Make sure that you come on back next week, Monday night, around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have round 3 from Rockingham here on Racecraft TV. For Jordan Hicks, I am Joshua Lee. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next week. We're saying good night from the virtual Darlington.
Thank you.